Do you fancy a glimpse into my inner workings? Here, let's open a portal. A door of opportunity to show you what is normal inside this head and mind of mine that's positively thoughtful, that's full of thoughts that think in court, that ought to be resourceful. But in fact it's rather often been a factory of fantasy that has had to be adventuresome, or that would be a travesty. Although actually in the past I've realised that I've been all that I had to be here now as your reflection, with you reflecting back to me. So that to me is where to start this story that I'm telling, to share my inner workings and to keep them all compelling. If it's entertainment that you are after, or education getting, then you've come to exactly the right place, because that is exactly what I'm selling. The habits of this head type are habitually thinking, forever linking this with that is a pattern that I think in. Then along came this magical symbol packed with wisdom and twinkling. My newest shiny thing was here to show me that my thinking had some kinks in. It's sinking in the more I see the shades of the shadow with the light. The hidden hive of hypocrisy I've avoided all my life. Spirit helped me realise with all my might I've had to hide the constant ache of pain and suffering that was cutting me like a knife inside. This Enneagram came to me to tell me I am sane and free, and to help me see that escaping limitation is unhealthy. That my interest in being limitless will invariably and inevitably overwhelm me and effectively prevent me from ever being accomplished with my talents, which would help me to be generously wealthy. I guess I've never let myself be settled on one thing. That very thought is terrifying. Even now it really stings. But what about this dazzling array of songs that I know I can sing, while frazzling my mind with all the gifts I cannot bring? So here, let me share with you the pairings of my type. My subtype is known as the Suggestible, because sexual is my drive. This intensifies the desires of mine for excitement and to strive for a deeper and higher experience, intense and so alive. Fascination with relationships and love and energetics, attracted to our shared adventure and together being magnetic. Now this to me is beautiful, it's gorgeous and so poetic. And exploring higher consciousness as a couple, for me, is where blissful meets frenetic. And from hyperkinetic and frantic to the tantric, my mantra stays the same. Let's explode in unity and dance in the sacred flames. Whether or not this life is nothing more than just a game, our union is a sacred gift which will never be reframed. So test this creature, this rose-tinted dreamer, and show me your true colour. And I'll love you even more than before, and our love will be even fuller. You see, dull is not in my nature, and it will never be in my lover. Because I'll flirt with you and push all your buttons till the butterflies inside of you recover and they flutter. It's important to me, you see, that our chemistry is like energy you've never seen. Quite probably our optimism gives us options, while our positivity breeds possibilities, and flexibility and agility enhances our combined abilities. So making the impossible possible together is quite possibly a probability. But know that if you choose to be with me, the smooth does come with the rough. My fear of boredom, limits and rules can leave me feeling frustrated and stuck. And feeling stuck and trapped and hooked on fun to flee the pain is tough. Add to that a constant hunger, starving as though there isn't ever enough, although that doesn't happen these days much. What does still happen though, is I really want to do it all, to master art, spoken word, singing, dancing and more. Creative writing, a book or two, and be healthier than ever before. I want to learn the piano and compose and feel the awe of the power of being a channel for spirit to bless this world I adore, with breathtaking visuals and sounds of the heavens that rock us all to the core. And with all of that said, I'm still just scratching the surface, because there's an infinity of amazement to explore. And there I go again. I'm trying to share my struggles with you, but I end up being excited and positive every time I do. Let's give it another go, and this time I'll slow down and think it through. And hopefully in a minute or two you'll have that glimpse of the difficult truth I've committed to giving you. It honestly breaks my heart and scares me to death, the thought of wasting my time and my life. This sexual drive with its gluttony side means anticipatory thinking is rife. There's this constant hum of anxious frustration, and it's way down deep inside. This isn't the ideal I hold in my mind, and resigning to that fact is an option I always seem to decline. And this coping mechanism I am letting in is never quiet, brain popping off like popcorn, like an apocalyptic riot. And a glutton in the kitchen with all of my thinking, I can't seem to master my diet. And my legs, well, they're endlessly restless even when I'm tired. Like there's an incredible event somewhere ahead, so they're inevitably wired and so desperate to try it. What's avoided me has always been acceptance of authority. The problems this has caused for me are honestly appalling me. I see that as I've rejected it out there, I've rejected the authority that's born in me, which forces me to fall to pieces when nobody is forcing me to perform my deeds or sort my needs. This SP blind is haunting me. This utter rejection of discipline has held me back so much. I could have been world class at art by now, but no luck. Instead, I'm over here drowning in my wasted talents, barely feeling like I'm enough. Living in the realm of tomorrow while today falls away untouched. And it's apparent that my evasion of pain is through rationalisation in this brain. No matter the situation or the day, I seem to have an excuse ready to explain away why I'm behaving the way I behave. This is always at play. It's like it's a game on repeat. It plays and plays. Being 2 or 3 steps ahead is sure to keep me safe. A story or a reframe even, whatever it takes to save the day when I'm confronted with anxiety, fear or shame. Then there's the pre-verbal trauma, the deepest and most frightening one of all. Pretty much impossible to access, coming anywhere near to it at all is terrifying. It's like being mauled by the purest and most poisonous of evil. It invades my whole being and more. It has no words or a name I can call. Terror, despair, petrified are words that point but fall short of the intensity of this penetrative force. This mortifying spiritual rape that has at some point bludgeoned my defenceless infant self to the core. Truth be told, this is what I've spent my life panicking about, of course. The wound I've been escaping at all costs, driving my thoughts, frantically clutching at straws in my filtered glimpse of reality, which I know this wound distorts. The pain I've been life or death desperate to find ways and reasons to ignore, while nobody ever held me safely for long enough so I could know I was loved and secure. Back to that pattern of being massively scattered, the mind reacting to stress with random nattering chatter, and that need to succeed at all things at once because they all matter. If only I could choose one thing that calls versus being actively passionate about mastering it all, I'd be happy. But for some reason, I keep choosing the latter. But even with all that said, underneath it all is this: a deep knowing that there is a divine plan and wisdom in this whole process, and that to me is bliss. Yes, I have this fear that there's something I'll miss, but life is a buffet of ridiculously interesting and fascinating things that I love to bits. And I'm committed to inquisitive thinking and trips to esoteric realms where adventure is wholeheartedly kissed, where potentials are plenty and for options there's no fee. Perspectives are flexible and we do as we please, where life is exciting with variety inviting more fun and flow and ease, and ideas and inspiration fall from the sky effortlessly, and they're absolutely free. From a lifetime of variety and escapades, I've learned from lots of things I've done there. All of this resides inside me. Some of them I use and some remain spare. But it always seems to be the case that at some point it's useful somewhere. And often information is synthesized, dots are joined, and I realise I have something innovative, visionary and rare. Now as I move through this awesome existence with eyes wide open in awe, seeing the good in everything and everyone, because that's what these eyes are for. More often than not, this curious mind is happier than ever before, inspired and on fire with excitement for life, and forever ready to explore. So with the spiritual gifts I've been blessed with, more than I feel I deserve, breathtaking divine experiences have changed the I observe. And while my relentless ego loves to take credit for all this magic that's occurred, I'm pretty sure it's destiny that blessed me, and that's only because I'm here to serve. So here I am in my fullness, unconsciously radiating the essence of a seven, freedom being my gift to you as well as my personal heaven. Whether or not I've felt it fully, I've been blessed with a valuable lesson. I now know my essence has never left me, nor has it ever lessened. And if that isn't something to be enthusiastic about, I'm afraid I've failed this mission.